Mad Wolf here. Please excuse the buzzing. That would be the cooler going on behind the arcade back there. And actually, speaking of arcades, I want to talk to you guys about this thing. So this is the Dragon's Lair iiRcade cabinet. Starts up pretty nice. We got an LED light right here by the power button. And then we get this cool lightning intro. No sound on that. So let's say, the system starts up and everything, you can actually mess around with this little volume control buttons, going up, going down, etc., etc. And as you can see right off the bat, there's a whole bunch of games on here, but I'll get to that later. First thing I want to talk about is the build of this thing. It's a little shaky. It doesn't take much, to shake some things. As you can see, Fighter Jet already popped down there. Yes, I have some Dragon Lady statues up here because Dragon's Lair. And you might be wondering, well, Mad Wolf, I don't picture you liking Dragon's Lair. It's a little too fantasy, and you strike me more as a cyberpunk shooting McBang Bang kind of person. Yes, you'd be right, Johnny McJohn-Johns. Well, you do get Princess Daphne, which she is pretty fun to look at. Just saying. But talking about the build. So the first thing, well, I guess the Dragon's Lair thing is an important thing to go off about. I wanted the Double Dragon arcade. It was sold out. This was on sale for Christmas for about $500. And that's a pretty good price for one of these arcades. As you can see in the tracked mode is going on, it's showing some different games that are special right now. They're not on sale or anything, they're just trying to get some attention on these games. This one is Rage of the Dragons. Very SNK-y. But anyway, so talking about the build, buttons feel pretty good. They're not concave. They actually kind of stick out a little bit, but, it has good sound. Nice volume control. The speakers, I've heard some complaints they're not top quality speakers, but they're fine. They serve their purpose. We got a menu pause button here, so we can access this menu or pause arcade games, which for me is weird, pausing arcade games. You don't pause arcade games. But what I really like is this headphone jack. You can quiet down a little bit. Like I said, yeah, I think those are good speakers. Headphone jack. So let's say you want to play this without, this one is Night Slashers. Very Streets of Rage, Double Dragon-y, but you're fighting zombies and vampires and that sort of good stuff. But let's say, you don't want to disturb anybody. Headphone jack, really good idea. You also got, coins, player 2 start, player 1 start, secondary joystick. Also look at how wide that is. Keep in mind, this is my feet. Let's see, shoulder width apart. So, if I'm shoulder width apart, I can stand here comfortably, have a nice view of that nice 17-inch screen, which does have, 2 inches of even more space, kind of making it a pseudo 21-inch, display because of this black bar here. Maybe 23, I don't know, but yeah, so that you get ample room to play 2 players. There's some, you got some nice room to play 2 players there. So anyway, back to the build quality, not just the controls. If we notice here, it looks very, 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 very seamless. Wait a minute, what did I just find? Oh yeah, here's ledge. Why? Because you could buy just the bar top, so it would fit on like a table. If you don't want to, sitting in the corner of your room or whatever. So this seam, very minor, very not really noticeable. Maybe it would be a little less noticeable if I'm better at decals and stuff, but I digress. So, this thing is essentially 2 parts. You got the stand, you got the actual arcade. The arcade itself, even if you don't want the monitor or anything, it has an HDMI. Pretty much everything is built into this. So, you want to hook it up to a computer? Hook it up to the computer. If you want to hook it up, whatever. But if you're going to do that, you might as well just get one of those $100 plug-and-play things off of Amazon. But for a $500, $700 arcade cabinet, they have these new models. They have like the marquee and stuff like that that kind of lights up, and more that parentheses C shape going on. But yeah, I think you know, pretty solid. Little bit tipsy, but you know, most of these arcade cabinets kind of were. You just got to be careful about that. And the red lighting in the back, that is actually just, I personally did that. I got some LED strips off of Amazon, and you can change the colors. They can respond to music and sound, and they're pretty cool. But yeah, those don't come standard, so that's just a slight little modification I did. But then talking about the games, you have so many games on here, and the thing is, this system comes with 11 games for free. One of which being Double Dragon, another one being like Diver Boy. There's a whole bunch that like I haven't even heard of. There's one called Dragon Master, which is, it's a 2D fighter like Street Fighter, but it's not very good. I'm not trying to be mean. Dragon Master, not very good. So anyway, there's a bunch of games on their website. Games by Taito, Data East, frickin', like I mentioned, Double Dragon, few SNK games, Jellico, you know, Taito, what the hell is it called? Toa Plan, which Toa Plan makes some of my favorite shooters. We go over here to shooter. We got Batsugan, Fire Shark, and Truxton. Well, I'm not a big fan of Truxton. I do like Twin Cobra. Truxton's cool, but Twin Cobra and Fire Shark. I mean, come on, it's called Fire Shark. How cool is that name?
We are trying to get air in here.
So yeah, you know, you got some really cool stuff on here. Windjammers is like a frisbee pong game. I remember playing it once or twice at the arcade in Walmart where I grew up. Street Hoop, that's one thing. So when you think of basketball game, arcade games, you think of NBA Jam. NBA Jam is Midway. I think a rival company, Arcade 1-Up, actually has done this licensing garbage where that's where a lot of the popular games, there's no Capcom or Midway or Konami on here. It's kind of people would consider it lower quality, but I love Data East games. I wish RoboCop was on here. IREM stuff like Kung Fu Master, known as Kung Fu on the NES. Yeah, we got the Double Dragon games, Elevator Action, which is great. Freaking just action game by Taito. A Heavy Barrel is Data East, I'm pretty sure. Kung Fu Master. And then we even get like some newer games like Riptide something. What is it called? Yeah, Riptide GP Renegade. Really cool game. Most of these are just a few megabytes, or even under a megabyte. The newer ones might be higher up in size, like Riptide or Moto Rush. That one, it's kind of cell phone quality game, but it's okay. It's very basic. The more expensive games tend to be like $20, $25, but most of them are like $5 to $10. So very cost efficient. What you do is you buy them through the website. You have the little, Wi-Fi connection, which I'm disconnected right now, mostly because I'm tired of all these updates, the PlayStation updates, all these updates. So anyway, you buy the games. As soon as you buy them, as long as your Wi-Fi's on, it gets connected and it downloads. So there's a lot of cool stuff. The downside to that, okay, it has Taito games like Elevator Action. I wish it had more Taito games, namely Bubble Bobble and Bust-A-Move. I loved those games as a kid. Data East, I wish RoboCop was on here. I think that's a licensing issue. That's not necessarily, I'm mad at iiRcade or anything like that. I just wish there were some more games on here. When it comes to iRem, I wish Undercover Cops was on here. I had that game kind of bootleg on my Super Nintendo, and because I remember playing the arcade of it and really liking it. There's even Sega on here. 64th Street, or not, that's not Sega, that's Jellicoe. Alien Storm is Sega. Let's see. We got Space Harrier on here. Yeah, Space Harrier is totally Sega. And I forget who makes Snow Bros. That's a pretty cute one. Skellboy is a cute modern game. Modern action game. Shadow Dancer is Shinobi. I mean, so they got Sega, but they don't have Afterburner. They don't have Golden Axe. They don't have, I just said Afterburner, Super Thunderblade or anything like that. That's kind of disappointing. They have Congo Bongo, which is essentially frickin' isometric Donkey Kong. By Sega. Yeah, there we go, Congo Bongo. But, Burger Time is a famous Data East arcade. But one of the biggest problems, I think, Arcade 1-Up did a lot of licensing. So no, you're not going to play Donkey Kong. You're not going to play Street Fighter. You're not going to play Mortal Kombat. You're not going to play NBA Jam. Hydro Thunder, I think because a rival company pretty much beat them to the punch. But does that make the system bad? Does it make it low par? Hell no. Checking out some of these games, hearing the sound quality, you gotta think to yourself, what do I think of this? And I guess that's really what it all boils down to, is what do you think of this? Now, is it worth $700? Pretty much the price of a brand new PS5. Probably not. It is a nice furniture piece that someone will be like, okay, that's pretty cool. You got an arcade in your living room. I remember playing arcades growing up. But at the same time, these are retro games. I think if you're a retro gamer, it's worth $500 to $700, definitely. definitely get the lights, because, you know, the LED strips are so cheap. These were like 20 bucks. Very cool. Once again, love the headphone jack so you don't disturb your neighbors, your baby, your sleeping wife who's not sleeping on the sofa. We do that. I don't know why. We have beds. Well, it's mostly because the crib has a pain in the butt time getting through this hallway. But yeah, so for $500, $700, I mean, here's one called Tengai. I mean, the graphics are beautiful. It's got a really nice display and everything. A really nice attract mode, really nice to show you what's being advertised on their website. I think it's a really cool system. I think it's worth the $500 to $700. But it's not for everyone. If you're not into retro games, especially you want bigger popularity games, then definitely you need Arcade 1-Up instead of iiRcade. But this is a solid arcade system. I can't stress that enough. I love the controls. Some people even said, oh yeah, I need this restrictor band so I can properly play Burger Time. I never had problems. You'll probably see in the gameplay footage that I suck at playing arcade with one hand, and I had to get Nicole to actually hold the camera so I could play Breaker's Revenge. But yeah, I mean, it's a fine system. It's not as bad as some people are going off about. And what they offer is pretty decent. And it's pretty easy to build. Once again, I like that it's just a stand and the bar top. Very easy, very simple. So anyway, guys, that was the video. I'll see you next time.
And until I see you guys in the next show, just remember, stay cool.